Hi, Gibaud, Gibaud.com. Today I could say this is our monthly Luminar Neo class, because every month I speak about it, and this month we're going to speak about landscape. Many people, when it's summertime for them, they want to make landscape photography, and when it's winter time, depends where you are on Earth, but maybe you want to edit or develop your raw file, so we're going to check this. So let's start. First of all, don't forget I've got the links in the description where you can buy or download a test version of Luminar Neo and Aperture, also another app they have. So there's a link in the description for that. And with my code ERIC10 you get a 10% discount. The discount is on top of any offer they have. You see a great offer, still place my code, it's even cheaper for you. So that's good. So what's our landscape? So often we feel our landscape pictures are too soft, they're not really punchy, they're not wow like this, and so often we want to have something that you see the picture and you feel like wow, okay. It's a matter of taste also, it's not one thing is better, one thing is worse, but still I wanted to show you how you can do it. So I'm going to check 3 pictures. The first one is a standard pictures, properly exposed, all this. So we're going to see how we can give it a look a lot more punchy, okay? Second, many people want to do black and white photography, but for them it's hard, they don't understand how to make it really contrasty, really punchy. And I'm going to show you how you can start from a preset and still fine-tune the results and get something that is really nice, really punchy. So it's easy to do, so I'm going to show you that. And the third picture is a completely underexposed picture to show you how a picture that maybe you would throw in the bin, you can still make something great out of it. In this case, I decided to underexpose it, but you will see how it becomes really alive and it gives a great look. Okay, some people may feel that when you do that, you don't reflect reality. And that's true. Sometimes the picture does not reflect reality. Sometimes it does, but sometimes the camera doesn't, but in a different way. Actually, the situation was punchy, but maybe it was sunset and it was really orange color, and your camera actually with a color balance, actually white balance, actually fine-tuned, and it's not as punchy as it was in reality. Other time you say, yeah, it's not reality, but what I felt was really wow. And I don't see it on my picture, because obviously when you make a picture you cannot transmit the wind, the stress, the happiness, the sadness, or whatever emotion you have. And a way to do it is playing with contrast and colors. And sometimes you want to give this part to your picture, and the only way is there. So we're going to have a look at this. So there are these 3 pictures, we're going to work on it. So now I'm going to disappear and go to capture mode so you can have a look at it. So here I've got 3 pictures made with the Fujifilm GFX 100S2 with different lenses. Well, this one with the 55mm 1.7 and this one with the 250mm f4. So we're going to start with this picture. It is a massive picture, it is 102 million pixels. And it is a raw file. As you can see, when I go to develop, there is the raw option that is here. So the first thing I'm going to do is to decide what I want to do. My idea is to give something a lot more punchy, a lot more golden hours, so we're going to work on that. If you have no idea about developing a raw file, you can always start clicking on auto adjust. It will make some calculation. I don't like it because the idea is not in this situation. Sometimes better, sometimes not. You can always fine tune after, but the idea for me is to get something a bit darker, more golden hour style. So I click here to go back. Okay, so I'm going to lift a bit the shadows. Okay, pull down the highlights, because as you can see the cloud, I want them a bit darker. Okay, I've got something that says smart contrast. So if I put it fully, it's horrible. If I put it like this, completely flat. Okay, so I can push a bit to give a bit more punchy look. Okay, I do this 3 times for each language, and I never get the same result because I never write down the config I make, the setup I make. So it's just for showing you. Okay. If you check here the histogram, you see it doesn't go to the right. Some people will say, well, then it's underexposed. Well, beware that the far right is pure white and the far left is pure black. Here there is no pure white in this picture, so that's normal that it doesn't go completely to the right, okay? Then I could go black and white, I'm not going to do it, curves not going to touch, color. Take into account that there are several features in Luminar Neo that are similar. Here I could change a bit the color temperature to get a bit more yellowish, a bit more golden hour, okay? I can touch it, but then I can also do it in another area, which is where I have the golden hour, but I'll leave it here. Sharpness, I'll leave it here. We'll see that at the end with another another feature. Noise reduction. Optics, if I want, I can auto correct distortion. This lens has really slight distortion. Maybe I would use it on architecture, okay? Here, well, I put it, but it's not compulsory, you don't need, okay? The auto chromatic aberration, there is none. Auto fringe, there is none, so I don't touch that, okay? Actually, here, at every time you do, you can always click here to see before and after. You can see the look is a bit different. You can also click here and see with the slider before and after, see if you like it. Now, when I consider that my I'm going to put the highlight a bit lower, even a bit more, okay? When I consider the development that is fine, I'm going to go to other area. As you can see here, there is Enhance AI. It's made with artificial intelligence. Here I can, if I go really strong, it's too strong for me, I can put a bit more, so it gives a bit more life to this. I can also enhance the sky. I like this because, as you can see, I get it not too far because I think it's too artificial, but a bit more, so the higher part is a bit darker, as you can see. Then if I feel this is fine, that's okay. I can change the structure, the color. I'm not going to change the color, okay, saturation, all this. Black and white details, I'm not going to touch that. Vignette, I could change vignetting. Take it out. Well, this is the one I had. Also in development, there was a section for vignetting. I didn't touch it. That's fine for me. I don't need to change that. The sky, maybe you don't like the sky. I would have liked to change it. You could do it. In this situation, I think there's no need because the sky is already great. There are several types of sky, okay? So if you want to go back, you just click, oh, sorry, what did I touch? Sky, okay. I go back, sorry, I didn't touch the right place. Sorry, I'm going to go to sky and remove what I've done, okay? Every time you want to go back and change something, you go at the top at edits, okay? Here I could go to details. I'm not going to touch that. Vignette. Here I've got a specify thing for sky, as I said. I don't want to touch. I could add some rays. I don't want. Twilight enhancer. Here I could go to golden and maybe not that much. Give a bit more golden. I can do it there, here or in the golden section, golden hour section. Masking, I could also do just an area if I wanted, not the full thing as I've done. Okay, so it's up to you. Atmosphere, same thing, I could change, add fog, things like this. Landscape, I like this because there is the golden hour and this is where I can actually want to play. Don't go too much because it would be not too nice, okay, I think. And here the foliage enhancer, if there was a lot of trees or this, but in this case, as you can see, it will affect a bit the blue here and a bit the cacti, that's several, okay, so that's okay, I don't touch it. Water, there is no water. Here there is a section that calls Relighting. You can decide to put more light in the front. I put maximum so you can have, you see what difference in the back, and you can also decide how you move this, okay. I'm going to be a bit less so you actually see the difference. I'm going to brighten the front a bit like this, and you can move it, but take care when you do that. Like, look here, it makes like some white area. Make sure you are within something that's realistic, okay? If you wanted to give a bit more light to this area, for example, okay? It's up to you, eh? Look, as you see, before and now it's completely different. My picture is really a lot more stunning, I think. Okay, obviously it's a matter of personal taste. Here I've got color transfer to do different things. Okay, I'm not going to touch it. We're going to keep simple. Magic lights to give yeah, beam, things like this. Here there's no sense to use it. The mood, the toning, matte. Some people like to have this matte effect in that kind of picture. I don't like it. No point for me. Neon glow, mystical. As you can see, for me it's horrible. Okay, but some people like it. It's respectable. Glow, blur, film grain if I want. All this is dedicated to portrait. There's no portrait here. Here I've got the super contrast here, so I could actually play with the contrast. If I go too far, as you can see, these clouds are horrible, but maybe I can do a bit more. Depends on what you want to do. Mid-tone, highlight balance, all this. You're going to play on all this to give... you don't have to touch everything. Here I've touched what I thought it was fine for me, okay? Color harmony, I can change things, okay? I'm not going to touch anything here, okay? Dodge and burn. Okay, let's say here, I think this is too dark, and here a bit, maybe I'm going to put the size a bit smaller, and I could actually make things a bit lighter. I can play on the amount here, okay? Maybe here also, maybe this area here, and maybe this, okay? And I can play, as you can see, I can dodge and burn. If there's some areas I would like to have darker, I just select darker. I can do it easily, darker, erase also I could erase things. So basically, if you look at the picture, maybe the cloud are a bit too much contrast here, I don't know. But as you can see, it's a lot more dramatic. And for me, the picture could be fine here. But there is one thing I want to show you, because this is recent and I think it works really well. It is the super sharp. You have universal or motion blur. I want to have universal, okay? And I'm going to select low. Take into account that my file is really massive, okay? 102 megapixels, so it takes some time. If you have a camera that is something like 26 or 33 million or 20 million pixels, it's a lot faster, okay? So you let it work and then you will see the results. Now it's applying super sharp, so now I'm going to go here. Every time you do some change, you can click here to see the last changes. If I click here, it's from the start, but here is the last changes I've made. So as you can see, you do see a difference if I click here, without and with. For some people, this is too much, okay? It depends on your taste. If you're going to use this picture on social networks in small size, maybe it's not good to have it too sharp. But if you're going to print it really large, then yes, it's good to get more details, okay? Maybe it's a bit too much. It depends on your taste, okay? I'm going to leave it this way. But now if I'm happy about the picture, as you can see before, this is what the camera took, and this is what I want to transmit to show. Normally, reality is in between, because the camera normally corrects with white balance if things are a bit, except if you have a set white balance. An automatic white balance, if it's a really yellow ambience, it will probably correct it, and your picture will not reflect the reality or what you remember. And when you do this, maybe it's a bit too much. The sky maybe is a bit too much done, okay? But I wanted to show you how you can change. And many people think like Luminar is for adding things, removing things, changing skies. But here I just developed the raw and bettered to make the picture more punchy. I think this is about the sky, maybe about it's a bit over the top. But honestly, this is what I remember when I walked there. This yellowish atmosphere, the contrasty atmosphere, and my original picture doesn't reflect it as a raw file. Here it does a lot more, okay? But as you can see, it goes from really, yeah, a bit boring to something really punchy. So it's your taste to decide how far you want to go. You don't need to have the sky that crazy, angry sky. Can have it softer. But as you can see, the difference is really a lot more punchy, and this if I would say, as people say, this sells a lot more. By the way, if you wanted to help me, I remind you, I've got affiliated links in description. Please use them, that really helps me. As I said, you got Luminar Neo and Aperty, and you get 10% discount with my code Eric10, 10% on top of any offer they have. But also I've got Eric10 for the website of Ken Faith, where you can find the links. The link is in description, but you can find product like K&F Concept accessories, filters, bags, tripod, all this. So thank you so much for using it. That really helps me. Let's carry on. Now we're going to do a black and white picture. Many people tell me, yes, but I don't know how to develop a raw file. They're a bit lost with that. It's not too complicated, but I understand that some people are lost. So the great thing about Luminar is you have some presets here, and here's the picture I've picked, okay? And if I wanted to have some preset, I can pick some that come included. You can buy some more also. It's written like classified by type, aerial, macro, portrait, all this. Let's go for what could be for example, overcast, okay? It's not overcast, but just because I've saw black and white before I light, okay? Let's go for it here. And it makes it really contrasty, but be aware that here, when you do that, it's so contrasty that you eat up the details. So you could not put it as 100%, could put it a bit less, okay? If you can see now, I still have more details here, okay? Something I can work on, okay, as much as I can. And some people would say, yeah, but still then it's not the exact preset, but that's a base, because you can still go to the edit. And as you can see now, you don't have the develop with written raw file, because the preset already developed the raw file. We can still work on it. So here I can still do some smart contrast if I want, okay, the highlights, to put them down so I don't blow so much what I had here, lift up the shadows if I want, okay, and still work with that. Obviously I could have worked in a raw file directly and worked my black and white here, but it's nonsense for me right now. Noise reduction, optics, all this, I'm not going to repeat everything I showed with the color picture, okay. I can still work on several things, the vignette, all this. If I work on the sky, there is no sky here, so obviously it's not doesn't apply, okay. If I work on atmosphere from or landscape, as I said before, if I place golden hour here, it doesn't make sense because it's a black and white picture now, so it would make a sepia, okay, but maybe you want it sepia, so you can do it this way here. And you can still work on many things. Word enhance doesn't, you would have to do that when it's in color, not right now, obviously. And you can still go for the matte look if you want, okay. I'm not too fan of that, but some people love it, so that's okay. And you can do everything we did before. And here, for example, we could do the dodge and burn. Let's say I want to lighten some areas here, like the size a bit smaller here. I want to lighten this, okay. Lighten here, maybe here, okay, maybe here. Or I want to darken some other areas, like maybe I'm going to make the size a bit smaller. Maybe here, this wave here, maybe here, okay. Beware of the size of the brush you use, because you can make darker. I actually don't really see it, but well, some people would notice it. Here, maybe I want to put a bit wider here, and I want to have this bush a bit darker here, okay, this palm tree here, okay. But as you can see, it's been so easy from knowing nothing about developing a raw file to give this look that it's contrasty, that I like that kind of contrast. And even if you're not an expert in developing a raw file, starting from a preset, you can do that. So it was a quick example on how you could do it. And people think that a preset are not things you can adjust. As you can see, it is possible to adjust and to have a starting point until you have more knowledge. Let's darken this wave here also up, okay. And you have a starting point, and you can then play and fine-tune a bit more as you wish, okay. So I think it's a great way when you start, you're a bit lost, and to be able to get some great results without much knowledge. So I really love it. And now we're going to finish with a picture that is underexposed. This is voluntary because I wanted to preserve the highlights in the cloud, because this camera recover shadows really well. I made several pictures. This is the worst picture. I decided to take this one to show you how we could recover and make something different. So first, as you can see, it's a raw file, also with the JFX. Okay, develop. I'm going to put a bit more exposure, down the highlights. Okay, for the sky I want to be a bit dark, smart contrast. Okay, as you can see, it takes a bit of time because it's still a really massive file. The shadows may be a bit up like this. Okay, the exposure not that much. So I could work all the rest as I did before. The color, maybe the color temperature a bit warmer, a slight bit. Okay. Then same thing, sharpness, all this, I could change the optics, all this, we're not going to do everything again. And hence we're going to better this with the AI. The sky, make it a bit more dramatic, as you can see. And then the details, all this, the sun ray, the twilight enhancer, like add this gold here, and I can actually work on it. Okay, maybe not that much, a bit more. Same thing with landscape. I can golden hour, bit more golden. Maybe it's a bit too much. Okay, I have to. I'm just show you the path to how to do it. Then it's a matter of taste. Okay. Same thing with the relight that is here. I could relight wherever I want. Maybe the brightness at the front. Okay, see here, and then move it a bit higher there, as you can see, move it there to this area. Okay, and now we're going to go to another level, if you can see it this way. Maybe I want to work on some areas without affecting the rest and be able to go back after. So here I'm going to right click on my mouse, go here on duplicate layer and work on this layer, and say here I've got the layer properties, I can mask, and we're going to do for example linear gradients like this. Okay, and we're going to work just on the sky. So now I go to my develop. Now it doesn't write raw anymore. Okay, and I could change exposure. Okay, just in the sky. Let's see, this is what we had at the beginning, what we have now. Okay, and this is what I've just done. Look at the sky. Okay, maybe I could put down the highlights again, maybe a smart contrast again in this area, maybe not too much because it goes a bit too crazy. Okay, the shadows, maybe put them down, whatever. Okay, work this way. And I would say, okay, now the sky is nice. As you can see, let's go back to the layer property. I can also fine-tune the layer. This is why it's important to work in layer. I can actually fine-tune this way if I want. Okay, I could put 100% or less. And let's say now I want to work on this path. For me it's too bright, so I'm going to duplicate layer again. You can actually move layers wherever you want. Okay, now we're going to work on the path. Okay, let's go here. I go to dodge and burn. Let's say for example I want to darken the path here. Okay, I darken it this way. Do it approximately. I could be done better, obviously. Okay, but just to show you, I can decide on the amount. But as it is also a layer, I can also play here. See, or I affect just area and I adapt as I want. Okay. Maybe I wanted to work on the super contrast on the basic layer that I didn't do. Okay, I could work here. Highlights. Okay, as you can see. Mid-tone, work on it as I want. Shadows and contrasts. Okay. Look at the difference between what I had at the beginning, what I have now. This is really what I saw a few minutes later or earlier, I can't remember. It was really warm this way, it was sunset. And as you can see, working with layer allows me to say, leave this layer, I can hide it. And as you can see, the sky goes back to what I had. Okay, or this layer, that was the path. Hide layer, as you can see, the path is a bit different now. Okay, and I can really play this way. So it is a lot easier to work this way. Okay, sorry, I'm going to take the layer out. Okay, here, as you can see, this is what I had and what I've got now. Okay, from a picture that many people will feel like, well, you can throw it in the bin, to this that you can actually recover. Okay, look at this. So it's really easy to work, and you get something that is unusable to something that is, I think, nice. Obviously, I speak at the same time as I do it, so it would be a lot better if I was not speaking and work on it each area. Maybe I could refocus some part, get some more sharpness in some areas, darker areas, in others. Let's go back to this layer, and as you can see, I could darken a bit as I want. Okay, if I apply maximum or not, and same thing with the sky. Here, if I want fully or partly apply. Okay, so it's really easy to do, working with layers from the same picture, and you're going to really work in areas and activate or deactivate what you want or what you don't want. Well, I hope you see it's not complicated. I actually voluntarily made it really crunchy, punchy, maybe too much, so you can see the extreme, but it's actually the way to do it. It's the same, except that you decide on the dosification, how much you put that or push this or pull that. This is it must be done to your taste, not to mine, but the way it works is so easy, as you can see. We've been able to work with layers, be able to work with preset, all this, and now it's your turn to play with that and have fun and get the best out of your pictures with Luminar Neo, because it's really, as you can see, really easy to use. So if you're interested in this software, I remind you, I've got links in the description. You can download a trial version or buy it directly. You get a 10% extra discount with my code Eric10 on top of any offer they have. You place it and that's it. So thank you so much for watching the video. If you feel it may interest other people, please share it on social networks. If you have not done it yet, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. The small button on here and the small bell. If you click on the bell, you will get notified when I upload a new video. My website, ericgibaud.com. If you have any question, can leave a comment below. Also leave you affiliated links in the description. Please use them, that really helps me. And as I said, Luminar Neo Aperty with the code Eric10, get 10% discount. And also with K&F on the website, the link is in the description, with K&F Concept product and more brands, also 10% discount with Eric10. Thank you so much, that really helps me. Also leave you my PayPal account in case you wanted to make a donation. Thank you very much, please take care of yourself and see you soon. Bye!